Okay. Why would I appear to have a laser on my forehead? Is that on my screen? Whoa, it's bright. Yeah. What in the world? Yeah, it's like on the camera or something.
Okay, that's how you do it. If it didn't crash. Still not. Let's try that again.
It's funny. It's like, oh yeah, you can play Shinobin's games. It's like, oh look, you can play Shinobin's games. And then it's like, oh wait, no you can't. All 1 games or all 10 games or whatever.
I have more than 10 games. I might actually have more than 10 games. Maybe 11.
Mm-hmm. Not 170.
No.
It's kind of embarrassing. No, it's not. I'm lying. Items.
Let's go to this list.
Oh, I see a Steven.
Is that Twitch or Google Plus?
This is Google. It's YouTube. It's via YouTube.
It's everything.
Yeah, well, because Google owns YouTube now, so it was originally through YouTube, and then YouTube pushes me to Google Plus,
No, I'm glad
and then
Apple.
it's all the same thing. Yeah, well, that would be that would be worse. So, how you doing, Steve? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I can barely hear you too. I should be able to manage you from the control room and turn your volume up. There.
The guy that just did your
Now we're both supposed to be louder.
Alright, I'm gonna post to my Mac too.
No, you're fine. It's all a test anyway. I don't even know if the church has internet, and if it doesn't, then we might wind up hotspotting from phones,
Right.
which is touchy at best. Because my phone, being as I'm T-Mobile, I won't have much service, if any, at the church, because I have none inside the grocery store that's next to it.
Right.
And then my fiance, she has Verizon, so Verizon has service, but she only has, I think, maybe 500 megabytes, which won't last very long, even if I turn down the resolution and all that.
Yeah, that should help a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if Verizon, you can say, I need this much data this month, and then
maybe maybe we can pay $20 or $30 and get a whole couple gigs for 1 month. Yeah, I'll have to check with her because she's the only one that gets signal company wise. I think AT&T might, but we don't. I don't think we have anyone that's AT&T.
Yeah.
I'm with T-Mobile because I have unlimited data, and you can't get that from anybody else. Well, you can, but T-Mobile's the best option. At least they were when I was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So out here, it's depends on where I am. Like, there's a couple dead zones, and traveling, there's more dead zones because T-Mobile's good around cities, but not as good in the sticks.
Right. Yeah. I've got T-Mobile too because of their. I've got 5 gigs 4G and then unlimited 3G after that.
Yeah, I think I have the same plan.
Yeah. $30 a
Because
month.
I play games on my phone and watch videos on my phone and everything else. So I'm going through, I think 1 month I went through 10.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's uncommon I go through that many, but I go through at least 4 or 5 without even trying. So
I try and watch mine and stay on Wi-Fi most of the time, anyways, and I'm usually around 2 or 3.
yeah. But now, this is a question you might know the answer to, and we've been trying to solve this problem for a while now, and we had it solved at one point, but without, I don't know if there's a way to fix it without resetting my modem and starting from scratch again, because that's how I fixed it the first time. And that is, and I say modem when I mean router.
That thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we, two of the household members use Wi-Fi when they're at home, and it routinely, when they connect, and not always, but usually, it'll let them connect, and then it'll kick them right away. And then either it'll kick them, because it's hard to tell with a phone whether you're getting kicked or whether the phone's choosing to disconnect. Because I've had the problem where my phone is constantly searching for a better signal, and I've had to turn that off because it was causing that problem. But I don't think that's the problem with them because the signal isn't changing. But anyway, it dumps them or they dump themselves and reconnect and dump and reconnect, dump, reconnect. Not only does it drain their battery, but they can't functionally use their phone to browse or watch videos or whatever because it's constantly searching for a new signal, constantly reconnecting to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I know. Believe I'm looking on my phone to see if I can find it. There is a setting to not connect to poor Wi-Fi networks,
Uh-huh.
but I think if you
Yeah,
enable
because
that,
that's
then
the other thing. It's unique to phones. At least it doesn't share that problem with laptops. I don't. Have you tried your tablet yet? Okay, so he has an Android tablet, and it doesn't have that problem either. So it is unique to cell phones.
that's interesting. What kind of phone does he have?
He's using a Galaxy, or yeah, S5,
Okay.
and my fiance has a S4, and the same problem.
Okay.
Again, not all the time, but most of the time.
Yeah. It might be a Samsung. No. Because those hardwares would be similar, at least.
Yeah, true. Yeah, their software would be almost the same. Their hardware would be super similar because they didn't even update the chip going to the S5, right? I think the S4 and the S5
Not
use
the
the same
Wi-Fi.
processor
They may have updated the.
firmware.
May have updated the, but it'd be from the same
Yeah,
manufacturer.
right, right. So this is you at work.
Yep.
So are you able to work efficiently and be on video at the same time, or is it something that is costing you time?
We're rounding up the night, so I'm just cleaning up a couple things.
Cool.
Yeah.
When are you off?
11.
Gotcha. So you're about what, 3/4 of the way through your shift?
We got half an hour left.
Oh, okay. I forget that you're like 2 hours away or an hour away.
Yeah.
They rolled back and commit. They rolled back and commit. Like, rolled it back? Yeah. It never got committed to.
It never got committed to solo. That one never got committed.
So, being as I'm going to be solo for the majority of the year, starting in September for a calendar year,
Apparently that was
I'm going to be on my own pretty much because my fiance is definitely going on the deployment, and my other housemate may be going on the deployment. So we may have to try and work out like a weekend or something like that where we can get together and do some gaming. I'm going back to school starting in February.
Okay, so I was looking up the website too, and the YouTube video that I found has
Yeah.
both fixes. The one is unplug and reset your router and modem.
Right.
The other is go to settings, Wi-Fi, menu, advanced,
Mm-hmm.
check for internet service or auto network, which is the thing that I was trying to find earlier.
Say that last one again. Advanced, then what?
Settings, Wi-Fi, menu, advanced, and then check for internet service or auto network
On the phone.
on the phone.
Okay. Hey, Michael, you have your phone handy? Okay. I want to get it and try and fix it.
As of the current moment,
Yeah. Right. So 3 hours ago it wasn't doing this, and now it was
Since
not
we-
working. Now it's
since we
working.
fucked with it earlier,
Yeah.
it now once I got home,
Right.
turned it on,
Right.
it's stayed.
So go to settings, then advanced.
Is there a second? Just
Okay. Maybe it's. All right. So go through the list again, Steve.
oh, there's
Of
advanced.
buttons to click.
All right, I'm at advanced.
All right. He's
Wi-Fi.
in the advanced under Wi-Fi.
Then check for internet service or auto network.
It's already unchecked.
It's already unchecked.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah. So
Always allow scanning is unchecked, and smart network switch is unchecked, and passpoint is unchecked.
What was the last one?
passpoint.
Passpoint, whatever that is.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
A
Yeah,
dog has cactus in her ear.
Wi-Fi signal strength. Wi-Fi on during sleep.
That's a paradigm. Try with that off.
Sorry.
it seems like it should work. But
Yeah, that's what has me baffled as well.
Well, now it works.
It's working at the moment, but it already was. You know, it's kind of like it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it'll break on its own whenever it wants to anyway.
yeah,
Either an Android bug or some kind of incompatibility with the settings on the router.
Yeah.
potentially. Yeah, it seems like it's at least from my quick Google searching, looks like it's a common problem with the Galaxies that have
Gotcha.
that issue.
Yep.
So just that specific model, even.
Yeah. So,
What kind of internet router do you have?
it's a Netgear.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. It's a Netgear. It's like a 2-year-old router, but it's like it's got ABGN A.
OBGYN.
Yeah, it's got ABGN and 2 different channels. One at 5 gigahertz, one at 2.5.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm running wired to my computer.
Which is always better.
Yeah. stability, speed,
Yes.
security. Yeah, I haven't really seen great advances with the routers to want to upgrade again.
Yeah, I've got we're on T-Mobile internet at our apartments.
Yeah.
It's the 20 gig or 20 gigabyte or megabyte.
Yeah.
20 down, 5 up.
Yeah, we've got Time Warner, and they're 25 and 5, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm unsatisfied because of how much it costs to have 25 and 5.
Yeah.
And I really miss FiOS because FiOS, whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had when I was back in Maryland, and
Yep.
it was the bee's knees.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're out in California now?
Yep.
What part?
29 Palms.
Yeah, Time Warner is supposed to be upping their speeds for us in San Antonio here. Not sure exactly what's going to happen, but they're trying to compete with Google Fiber if they come into town.
Well, and if they,
So
I would drop it so fast if Google
Yeah.
Fiber showed up anywhere nearby. I would like move slightly to get to Google Fiber.
that's what I say too. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, Google Fiber's in town. Where in town? I need to
Yeah.
get there.
How many blocks do I have to move? How many miles?
Yep.
Because I would take another 10 minutes on my drive to work, and I already drive like 30 minutes to work. I'd take another 10 just to get fiber.
Totally.
But, yep. And it's interesting what's going on with the FCC because the FCC just made the ruling recently, and now it's looking like they're trying to get. I think Congress is working on something that may invalidate the FCC, basically taking it out of the FCC's hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they've been lobbying for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Internet.
it would basically make it so that the FCC could not regulate internet providing,
Right.
because the FCC just passed a ruling to regulate it the same way that phone service is regulated. So if that's allowed to stand, then that will increase Google Fiber's viability
Yeah.
and may open. They're also looking at potentially opening some more frequencies for public bidding,
Yeah.
which would allow Google to expand their network faster.
Yep. And then they'd be able to get on the poles as well for their fiber.
Exactly, yeah. Which would speed up their deployment.
Yep. Considerably.
Which, if that's basically the only way they're definitely going to compete, is if they're able to speed up their deployment, because otherwise they're going to stay in major city hubs and that's it.
Yep.
Because it's not viable. I mean, especially like for example, 29 Palms. It takes an hour to get to a somewhat major city, that like a city with an airport of worth. Because Palm Springs is the nearest airport of worth, and it's at least an hour. And so I think that the closest hub would probably be LA, and that's 2 hours plus. So they're not going to dig to the ground for hundreds of miles just to supply it to a couple thousand people.
Yeah.
But if it's all they have to do is hang it on a pole, then they might actually do that. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, but I would like to do gaming sometime during that time frame. And I will probably be home for Christmas this year as a result of being the only one out here.
Christmas
Because
being
obviously
the
she's
25th?
what's up?
Christmas being the 25th of this month or the 25th of December?
Well, I am going home for Christmas celebration tomorrow. Um, but yeah, but actual Christmas of 2015, I should be in Maryland.
Cool.
So depending on how much time I take, um, maybe we can figure out something at that time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be
Because
fun for sure.
because I'll be going back to school February, hopefully, if everything works out, and that'll be. I'll start pulling like $2,300 a month from that, on top of my already making what is it, pennies on the dollar. I always pull at least 300 a week, and usually it's a little more than that from my job as a meat clerk at the grocery store.
It's not bad.
No, it's not horrible. And the minimum wage has gone up to $9 this past year in California, and the end of 2015 it goes up to 10. So I'll get we're union at the grocery store, so I'll get a raise that keeps me as far away from the minimum wage as I am prior to the bump in minimum wage. Um, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And April, I'll start receiving benefits like I'll get my first week of vacation. I'll get uh, health insurance viability, um, life insurance viability too, I think. But I probably won't take any life insurance until I have a kid, because really that's the only reason I would need it,
Yeah.
other than to cover funeral expenses.
Right. Yeah. I got the life insurance here because that's one of the major life events is getting a job, and I took the max because I've got diabetes. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it's so much easier to have extra money than not enough
Yeah.
when it comes to stuff like that. And Trevere's been going to school, and next she's going to probably stop going to school as soon as I start getting paid for school, and then she's going to deploy. And then after she deploys, right now she's only 60% eligible for GI Bill. So whatever the going rate is for basic allowance for housing, she gets 60% of that. And then once she gets back from the following deployment, she'll rate 90%. So she'll go back to school, go back on the GI Bill, and start pulling 30% more for BAH. And then when we're both pulling BAH at the same time, we're just going to be socking it away.
Yeah.
So I mean, because right now we pay $725 in rent, um, with additional costs for internet and cell phones, car insurance, and power and water. But we recently applied for a mortgage, so if that goes through, that'll be cool because we can get a better house and pay less money than we do now for a house with the mortgage and the taxes included, and still be at about the same or less than our current cost of living.
Nice. Yeah, that'd
So
be cool.
if we don't wind up getting a loan, because both of us have somewhat crappy credit at the moment, then we will probably look into living on off-base housing, because this is basically it's in the same area that I was stationed, but the off-base housing right now, because they don't have enough bodies on base to fill the off-base housing, they're allowing veterans and reservists to pay to live in the off-base housing that's normally reserved for active duty members. So that would be pretty cool because that's all inclusive,
Right.
and so it would take the power, the water, and potentially the internet bill away.
The maintenance.
And the maintenance would be far superior.
Yeah.
Actually fix shit.
Because right now we have issues with our, we have a septic system, as most houses out here do. And there's a clog somewhere in the system that backs up our, if it was still connected. Because the maintenance dude, all he did when he came out here, he ran a 15-foot snake and it didn't fix the problem. So he disconnected our system from the septic tank. So our sewage from our toilets and our sewage from our showers still go into the septic tank, but the other half of the system, which is our dishwasher, our sink, and another sink, are going into our side yard and just sitting there, or being absorbed into the ground, but very gradually. So, and it's been that way for a month, and our landlord has done nothing about it, and we've talked to her twice. And unfortunately, I wasn't here when the house was moved into, so we don't have a copy of the contract, or we don't know where it is.
Okay.
So we have nothing to call her out on legally. So.
That stinks.
Yeah. Basically, what we're waiting on right now is to hear back from the loan application. If we don't get the mortgage, then we're just going to rapidly look into the base housing and move as soon as possible there so that we can save more money / whatever. So it's just this house is not the best. It was convenient when she moved in because it was a private rental rather than being through a company. So all they needed was money.
Yeah.
So that's easier to deal with sometimes. But hasn't been good in the long term.
Sometimes you have to have somebody
Yeah.
yell at.
It's just the house is older, so it's not very efficient for heating and cooling. The electrical system is substandard because sometimes it'll randomly lose power on a breaker. Like the living room and one wall in the bedroom is all the same circuit. So it's really odd. Did she lock herself in somewhere? I'll be right back.
Might have locked herself in the closet or something.
Yeah. She locked herself in bed. All right. But yeah, so that's my situation. All right, I'm gonna stop the broadcast because I want to look at some other things, and then I have some cleaning to do.
Okay.
This was fun
Yeah.
and seemed like a successful test.
Yeah. Sounds like it's pretty good.
Yep. Bye.